Okay, Goodyear is located on Innovation Way in Akron, Ohio. We release every year 1,500 new products. Those are new products. It's just not a repackaging. Those are true new products. About 1,000 projects at any time, about 4,000 learning cycles every year, about 450 million we spend every year. And we did get the AME award, the AME Excellence Award for our Innovation Center. Now, I have to explain to you, the AME is just a manufacturing protocol. So for those who think that those lean principles don't work for innovation, well, you are wrong. We've proven they work very, very well. You just have to figure out how to, and I'm going to talk about that here a little bit. Today, economic growth is a function of, I normally ask that question, but it takes too long, population growth and market growth. So the two biggest factors in market growth are productivity and efficiency. That's why we do lean manufacturing. The other one is innovation, having something that the other people don't have. And that's where lean innovation comes in. There's not a lot published on that subject, and there's not a lot of companies who do it. I think there are less than 5% of American companies who have been successful implementing lean in an innovation creation operation. It's important that we develop product and capability. We're good in developing the product, but what we are not good at in this country is to develop the capability. And we do not want to outsource the intellectual work too. We outsource a lot of manufacturing work, but in the US, there's still a lead on intellectual work, and we have to get better at how we do things. And that's going to be the key. I'm going to share 6 little things here with you today. Learnings from our journey into applying lean to product innovation. You've seen this in the, Alex showed you this already. Life cycles are coming down drastically. Complexity is going up. And here's the problem that we have. We have no money. We get no extra money to do all these additional products now. So we had to learn to do more with less. And that's why we're looking at lean. Here's something very important. If you take nothing else with you today, please remember these. This is a business cost. Manufacturing materials are the biggest ones, and R&D is a tiny little thing. So most of the people apply lean into manufacturing, maybe a little bit on materials. R&D isn't worth it. 80-20. It doesn't fit the 80. So a lot of people think it's not worth it, but here is why it's worth. At Toyota, they say that 95% of the decisions whether a product makes money or not are made in R&D when they design the product. So it's the enormous leverage that you need to take a look at. So how can we apply lean to this shadow, to this leverage that R&D has in helping the company make money? By the way, for us, R&D is an investment. The job of R&D is to help the company make money, no other agenda. So we try to, the agility to deliver what the customer or the business needs when they need it. That's what we found out was so critical. We were late on virtually everything. And being late on virtually everything, it is unbelievable how much money the company cannot make. If you don't have a product, you're really hurting yourself. And you need the product exactly at the right time. And that agility, that's where we used lean to generate that agility. The other big one is you can only be successful if you hit the right part here. You can have a great idea, a great product, and nobody will ever buy it, so you waste your time. You can also have a great product and you cannot manufacture it successfully. But then again, you don't have a product. You only have success in innovation if you have a great idea that people will buy and you can manufacture, deliver, market it efficiently. So anything that's not in this red area, you're wasting your time in product development. This is how we used to work. This is what a product launch looked like for us. I'm sure you have seen this before. And here is our value stream. An idea, you make feasibility studies, technical feasibility, then you develop it, then you industrialize it, you produce it, you distribute it, you market it, and collect money. Well, it used to be 10 years from an idea until we were able to collect money. And we worked really hard on cutting that down. There's a lot of money invested in this thing, and we do it in 2 years, 3 years now, from an idea to being able to collect the money for it. And this is the key to doing it. We do things together now. We do things at the same time, not one after the other. One after the other was we develop it, throw it over the wall to manufacturing. No, manufacturing sits on the table now after we look at an idea, everybody is involved in it. And everybody has skin in the game now. Targets are set jointly, again, back to the Intel presentation. Everything is developed concurrently. And then functional and personal agendas take a back seat to what's the best value for the customer and what's the best thing for the company. Fast is better than slow. I guess you all agree on that. If I only had one thing to focus on to make a better process, to make a better innovation process, I would spend it on speed. If you get faster, you become much more competitive. You're the first one with the product, not the follower anymore. You're faster learning, you develop your learning faster. And the faster you develop your learning, the better you get at making products or designing products. Better risk management, of course, better cash flow. You don't wait 10 years to get the return on investment, you get it in 2 years. And then here's the big one. You get the efficiency for free. I could not believe when this happened. Because people, when they focus on efficiency in R&D, you lose your creativity, people will walk away from it. It's very difficult to sell efficiency to engineers. But to sell speed to them, they're all for it. And you get the efficiency by just eliminating waste, by just only working on the stuff that matters. And so using speed to get efficient is a really big learning that something we learned. And we reduce cycle time by about 70% at Goodyear. Okay, you heard this morning, so I can save 1.5 minutes of speaking time. Sarah, this is my model for innovation. They make, you heard it, 2 weeks. So they design 1,000 garments. Within 2 weeks, they have them in the shop. Not a lot, a few of each in strategically placed shops, and then they see what sells. And when they figure out very quickly what sells, and then 2 weeks later, they have a mass produced, and to me, that's the model for innovation. Try a lot, try everything possible, try it with the customer back or whatever, try it with the customer, and then develop the agility to be fast enough to have it when you need it. So here's my model. You start with the customer, then you generate as many ideas as you can. But normally when you do that, then you're swamped with work, and now you have to converge again. And the way I like to do that is with quick learning cycles, quick experiments. Build, test, and learn. And a lot of this is done on the computer these days. We can model a complete tire. We test, we run 1,000 tests in one night of computer time. So these very quick build, test, learn cycles, and you eliminate everything that doesn't work as fast as you can. And here we are in Scrum now. Again, I can save a little time for those who have seen the Intel presentation. The computer people have done this for a long time. They call it Scrum. It's these little learning cycles, short, well-defined, to the point, and well executed. The team sets the goals. It's very easy to manage the risk, by the way. You do not allocate $5 million to a 3-year project anymore. You allocate $50,000 to a 1-month project. And then you look at, is it worth continuing? And a lot of them are not worth continuing. Well, then you stop them right away. You don't drag them 3 years to find out that it's not worth continuing. And faster learning, self-organizing, most of you have heard about it. They work very, very well even in the front part of the fuzzy front end, as we call it, dealing with new ideas and figuring out if they're any good. So here is the traditional innovation model. We heard it from you that this disruption, you do this disruptive innovation, these big new ideas that come from time to time and that create you a lot of innovation, a lot of new products, a lot of new revenue. And we learned from Toyota that you should improve, you should work in short cycles, Kaizen, these little improvements. So can you make innovation like that? And I think that's what I'm trying to tell you here. I can replace this long cycle with tiny little innovation cycles, working on short pieces of work, doing them very quickly, and I make a lot more progress in a short period of time than by always waiting for these big step changes to happen. It's much faster, this process, but also it's much better to manage the risk that way, and actually the work is easier to schedule. It becomes very easy if you schedule your work in small pieces rather than schedule these big monster couple-year projects. Okay, the last part, trying to spend on people. You heard a lot about people this morning, and in fact, I liked Anu's presentation because everything in there I went through in the last 12 years doing the transformation at Goodyear. Lean transformation, major change, and it's all about people. It's not redrawing an organization chart. If you want to be successful with this transformation, you have to engage the people and bring the people along, because that's the only way to make it successful and sustainable. You've seen this morning, the Ono's temple there, whatever you call it, the two pillars, just in time and automation. Well, this is a generic one. You can put anything there that you want. But I want to put continuous improvement there and respect for people. And unfortunately, this is how it looks in most companies. That's certainly the way it looked at our company. And 70% of the people are not engaged. You can go to the Gallup. They have a lot on the internet on that subject. You need to engage those people if you want to be successful with your transformation. So you need to get this pillar up. So here's what respect for people means. The only people who know how to do the job are the people who do the job. So I like to hire consultants, but I hire consultants to teach the people who do the job about lean. I do not want to hire consultants to tell them do this and do that, and when the consultant leaves, hey, we start over. So you have to teach your own people because they're the only ones who understand the job. Henry Ford hired hands. Toyota hires hands and brain, because they need the brain of their people to improve the work. Then hard on the process, easy on the people. When I hired in the company, when something went wrong, the first question was, who did it? And guess what? You could never find, because people developed some great expertise in hiding it. And for me, people come to work to do a good job. Everybody comes to work in the morning with the intentions to do a good job, or almost everybody. I haven't seen anybody come in and said, today I'm going to figure out how to screw up. So if things go wrong, it's normally not because people intentionally want to screw up. It's because the process isn't right. It's because they aren't well trained. The equipment isn't there, and you name it. So look for the process first if something goes wrong and needs to get improved. And then the other one is managing the innovative talent. I have 60 patents, but I could not make a career out of being an inventor. Absolutely not. My company didn't have it. They still don't have it. The good companies have this. We do have a technical ladder where you can make a lot of money and a good career by being a technical expert. And that works very well, but we still don't have it for the innovator, and I'm still working on that. So here is a summary of what Lean did for us in innovation. And by the way, I forgot to mention one thing. Before we started Lean, about 50% of our projects made money. Today, almost 100%. I think I could say 100% of all our new projects make money. Our new products that we introduce make money. Safety quality indicators are all-time best. On-time delivery, we weren't even giving the business 20% of the projects when they needed them. They were used to get them when we were done. But guess what? When we were done, the competition had the same things already. And now we deliver virtually everything 100% on time. The goal is 90%. When we had a goal of 100%, nobody took a risk anymore. So we had to reduce it and tell people, hey, it's okay to miss it sometimes for technical reasons, but we had to reduce the target, take it down to 90%. Cycle time reduced by 75%. The throughput, an engineer at Goodyear today does about 3 times the amount of work that an engineer did 10 years ago. And they are not working harder. We are just much better at doing the work and getting it done. We have a better process, and by the way, innovation works well in a structured process. I can show you data on that too. And then the employee engagement has improved. We have much better retention rates. I hear people say they love to work at Goodyear again. That wasn't there years ago. So they are proud of working there again. So as a summary, Lean has done more for Goodyear than any other initiative. I've been there 38 years and I've seen all kinds of stuff happen. No initiative has ever had the impact, but we had to learn to apply it to the shadows, to the indirect, not the direct cost saving, teach people to work in the process and engage them in the change, and then facilitate innovation through a structured process. And if everything seems under control, you're just not going fast enough. Ah, man,